Okay, cool. All right, good morning, everybody. It's Family Matt. Okay, so let's see. Great. Okay, so let's see. As I'm getting situated, couple things. You need a couple of props today. Mute you guys. You're gonna need a chair, and you're going to need a tennis ball or yoga ball, lacrosse ball, something. Ball. Lacrosse ball, tennis ball, and a bath towel because that's like a safety thing to use with your ball. Okay, so take a second, get what you need. Ball, towel, chair, mat, you, water. Water's good too. And we'll get into it. So today, focus is mobility and balance. Ooh. Okay, so while people are getting their props, we'll start to get centered. I'm going to grab a small hand towel as well. I said just one bath towel, but I sometimes like to have a second one, depending what surface I'm on. And so I just have one little, I'm using a little cross ball. We're just going to start with some standing mobility for the feet. And then we're going to get into some standing work for the upper lower torso with our chair. And that's going to incorporate some balance. Because we are working balance, feel free to stand by a wall. So something to give you a little extra support, okay? Before we get into all of that, though, let's start with some roll downs, you guys. So amidst all your props, just take a second. Thank you for joining me this morning. Just stand there for a moment and let your feet settle into the surface of the floor, wherever you are. Take a deep breath in and out. And you can let your eyes close or be soft, but just allow yourself to start to take in the sides of the room, what's above you, what's below you, what's around you. Yeah? Let's take our arms up to the ceiling and push everything away 3 times. We really want to soften our gaze today because we are going to be doing a lot of balance. And you need to be aware of your periphery when it comes to balance, right? One more time. Inhale. Taking the room around you. Can you feel the edges around your ears? Good. And then soften your knees and start to roll the spine down. Take this as far as it feels valuable in your spine. At the bottom, let your arms and your head be heavy. Take a deep breath and roll it up. Let's do that 2 more times. Let the arms stay where they are, up and over. And again, legs can be straight or slightly bent. Inhale. Press into the feet to start to rebuild the spine. Think of pouring your spine like liquid into your pelvis. One more time, up and over. Feel that lift of the belly. As you approach the bottom, take a moment and just sense that you're not hanging, you are hovering over your thighs. Wherever you are, let's now give our hamstrings a little attention. So hands to floor or to shin and bend your knees 3 times. Every time you straighten, the head goes down, the hips go high. 2 more times, let your breath lead your movement. And even here, be aware of your lateral edges, the space around your head, your hips, what's above you, what's beneath you. Last one, relax the arms, slowly roll and pour yourself back up. Good. Great. One more thing, let's just wake up how this torso moves independent of the legs. We're going to need it later. So take a moment and take your hands to your chest, crossing them gently over your shoulders. Let your knees be a little soft. Okay. Now keep your hips and your waistband forward. And as you inhale, slowly rotate and look over your left shoulder. Stay to that side, inhale, and as you exhale, rotate maybe a little further. One more inhale, and that exhale will bring you center, straighten your legs.
Other side. Soften the knees. Rotate, letting your ribs guide you and your focus. Take a breath. Rotate a little further. One more breath. Bring everything center, straighten the legs, stand tall. Let's do that one more time to each side. So I soften my knees and I rotate. I stay there, I exhale, I go a little further. I inhale last time. Exhale, come straight. Yeah. One more. Soft knees, rotate. Checking that the rotation as we go further is from the ribs and not the hips. One more breath in and straighten center. Good. Take the hands behind the head. Again, soften the knees. Just them a little, and press your head and hands into each other. Sense that energy. Now we're going to take a little chest lift forward and a little extension back. So without changing your hips, just curl the upper chest over the thighs, gaze at your belly button and pubic bone. Keep the pressure against your hands as you come back to straight. Good. Take that forward 3 more times, up and over. Imagine you're laying on the ground and rolling off of the floor. Twice more. Again, even here, be aware of what's around you. What's to the side, what's above, what's beneath, and what's in front. Yeah, last time. Up and over. Can we keep that connection of our hands to our head? And stack. Okay, one more. Let's take a little extension. So lift the heart and don't think back so much as reaching the chest forward and opening the heart away from you. And then bring your gaze back to center. 3 more. Heavy armpits, open the sternum, wide smile across your chest. And center. Elbows relax. I'm not forcing them too wide or too forward, just where they want to go naturally. Inhale to open. And bring it center. Maybe going a little further each time. One more, up and over the barrel. And bring that center. I almost forgot our lateral, so let's not do that. Let's keep the hands there. Heavy elbow pulls you to the side. And back to center. Other side over. And the whole time, can you notice how your legs are not changing? Your hips are staying forward. If anything, think of pressing into the floor more to keep a sense of center. That's going to help us as we work into our chair this morning. And then let it go. Good. Let the arms come down. Give them a little shake. All right. So we should all have our props by now. So here we come to the ball. Depending on your ball and depending on how tender your feet are, feel free to roll the ball over or under a towel just to give a little more density, or I should say less density. And we're just going to wake up the foot a little bit. So standing to the side of your ball, place your heel on your ball foot on the floor and let the ball of your foot, the arch, kind of cup the ball. I'm going to go a little wider than hip distance. I did a flow with this this week in our classes online. Today we're just going to do a little abbreviated set just to wake up those feet. So let your foot bare paw over. And then all you're going to do is bend a little bit of weight into it and then ease off. That's it. Little bit of weight into the ball foot and ease off. Now we're going to do about 12 of these little weight shifts. And every 2 or 3, maybe change where the ball is on your foot. Another thing, if leaning into the ball is just a little too much for your foot, and it might be, that's okay. Bend the other leg and push into the foot, right? So you don't have to bring all of your weight over that foot. You're going to do what feels right for your body. And I think of it like looking for a place that's receptive to kind of melting over the ball. So I look for that receptive area. And as I get a little more confident, maybe the areas that are a little less receptive. And I try to linger there a little longer. Keep shifting. You got about 3 more shifts, okay? Press. Make sure your legs are wide. Make sure that you're standing pretty tall and not collapsing either. You still have a sense of lift. Now find a spot where you feel like you can stay there a little longer. And we're just going to take a couple deep breaths. So maybe you're not leaning much. Maybe it's a lot. Just find a place that works right for you. And breathe. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And let your exhale allow your foot to imagine it's liquefying over the ball and just melting, letting go of tension. And if that feels good-ish, you can even do a little, like a little windshield wiper on the ball. Take one more breath and ease off. Good. Take off your foot off the ball. Just stand for a minute with both feet flat. Just bend both knees a little bit and straighten 3 or 4 times. And appreciate the slight difference you've created just by the little knee folds over the ball. You should feel a little more buoyant, a little more springy, okay? Let's do the other foot, exact same thing. You could turn around, I'm just gonna shift over. And the big towel, I never mentioned why this was here. It's actually there in case your ball goes flying out. It'll go flying and hopefully get caught, or your foot might get caught. So it's a little safety blocker. So here we go again, standing again, legs a little wider than hip distance, heel down, arch of the foot, cupping the ball. Think of this like prehensile on a reformer, where you lay with your heels under the foot bar, toes over the foot bar, and you wrap your heel. And then we say, now bend your knees. And you're like, what? Here it is. Prehensile with a prop. So I like to feel the stretch over my toe knuckles. If you look at your foot and see those 5 metatarsal joints, the knuckle of your foot, they need a stretch. That's where that transverse, that longitudinal arch goes in your foot, and it needs to be buoyant. Okay, we've probably done about 4 or 5. Let's do about 5 or 6 more. Only lean as far as you can, and maybe you don't really lean. Maybe you just don't even bend the knees and just put a little bit of pressure. It's your foot. Ask it what it needs. And don't force. Just let it be easy. Easy, easy. Good. Take one more. And then find a place that's receptive and take a couple deep breaths. And melt into your ball. This is really a great stress reliever too, I feel we're so connected from foot to head. This is really a nice way of softening even your jaw, your face. There's something connected between the foot and the head. Good. Take one more breath. And ease off. Easy. Good. Stand again, both feet flat. And let's again, one more time, appreciate the difference, or now the similarity of our slightly buoyant feet. Yeah, really important to wake up those feet. If you wear shoes a lot, this is really important that you do this, or something like this. Yeah. Good. All right. This ball is going away for a while. If we have time, I hope, we'll use it again later, but put them away for now. Okay. There's me sneaking in my coffee. All right. Hello, chair. This is going to be a standing foot workflow. We did some of this a few weeks ago, actually, but we only did it facing forward, and we're going to now incorporate our other sides. So this is our balance and mobility portion of class. You're going to bring one foot up. Okay, I'm going to choose my right leg today. And we're just going to get centered. Make sure that your right knee is bent. If you would like added challenge, you could straighten the leg and have the knee straight and the heel flexed. I'm going to start with my knee bent. This is the first thing I've done this morning, so I'm going to start a little more grounded. And then from there, hands back behind the head. We're going to start with that rotation that we did when we had both feet down. So stand tall. Inhale, rotate towards the leg that's in front of you. Exhale, come center. Take it to the other side. Rotate away from the chair. Exhale, center. Flex your spine forward, keeping the hands and head pressing towards each other. Flex the spine. Restack. And then extend the spine. Little bit of opening for the heart. Bring it center. 2 more things to do. Side bend towards the front leg. Side, center, and away. And the farther you take that flexion, the more challenge and center. Let's do that one more time. Plant your grounded flat foot. Rotate to the front leg. Hips don't follow. Exhale, center. Inhale, rotate away. Exhale, center. Chest lift forward is next. Restack and extension follows. Try to let this flow. Take it to the side, to the right. Feel that as you go down with one side, you're lifting on the other and other side. Heavy through my left elbow, but light and lifted through my right. Okay, great. Let that go for a moment. Remember how that felt, hands to hips. Start to lift, actually no, let me go back a step. Start to lunge forward, weight shift and back 8 times. Lunge, get a nice stretch on that back calf and lift. Try to spring off of the chair with a little bit of energy and lean. Feel that front glute working as well. 4 more. Spring up. 3. Spring up. 1 long line from head to heel. And 1 more time. Now, when I'm going forward, what I'm not doing is trying to stay up with my chest. So let me see. Can you see what I'm doing here? If I go here, I actually start to feel a little bit of pinching in my low back. So when you go forward, remember to keep your abdominals in and hinge so you get that diagonal. Yeah? Okay. So now stay on your back leg. Let's lift and lower the standing heel. Push the floor away and rise up for 8. Push and 7. And 6. Wrapping through that standing hip. 4 more. 3. Hips are level. My hands are making sure I'm not hijacking one over the other. And 1. Now keep your heel lifted. It's going to get fun. I'm going to suggest that you actually take your hands over your chest because we're going to go through our rotation, our flexion, and our extension with our torso. Heel stays raising. Rotate towards your front leg without lowering your bottom heel. And come center. 5 more to go. Rotate to your left. And center. Chest lift forward. Let the elbows draw you forward heavy. But make sure it's coming from your abdominals. And rise. And then heavy elbows draw down. I lift my chest up. I'm still in a calf raise. Now we're going to try to flex to the right without dropping the heel. High balance. Center up. And 1 more to the left. Center up. Lower the heel. We have that 1 more time. Keep your arms there if you would like. If you feel like you're done, maybe keep the calf down or the heel down. Otherwise, join me on this last variation by lifting the heel and hands behind head. Here we go. Rotate to the right leg. Exhale, center. Rotate to the left. Center. Chest lift forward. Center. Extension. Center. Keep flowing through, inhaling to take the body over and exhale to rebuild. And 1 more. Think of yourself like liquid and pour up. Good job. Lower the heel. Okay, we're going to put the heel raise and that lunge forward together now. So here we go. We're going to lunge. Lift the back heel. Transfer your weight back over your standing thigh and lower the heel. 8 times, then we reverse it. Here we go. We lunge, heel raise, Restack, lower, lunge, calf stretch, rebuild, lower. Here's a great place to put your hand on a wall for a little bit of feedback. And lunge, rise. 4 more. Lift. Good. One long, beautiful line from head to heel. Last 2. One more. Let's reverse it right away. Lift, lunge, lower. Good. Lift. Think of pushing the floor away. Push. Wrap the seat. Quite a bit of glute here. Wrap and push. 4 more. Push. Pour it forward. Pour it down and back. 3. That's it. 2. 1 more. Excellent. Good. Now we've got that whole other side to do. First, let's take a little stretch. Take your right foot off the chair. Take your arms up to the ceiling. Roll your spine down. Bring your hands to the floor. We're going to take a plank and a knee hover. So walk your feet out till you're in a plank and hold it here. Take a moment, soften your elbows and draw your ribs back through your armpits. From here, lower one knee, tap the floor. Take it back, other side. One knee down, tap the floor, other side. So knee pull and extend. Knee pull and extend. Take 5 more alternating. And 4, 3, the ribs are quiet. 2, 1. Now try both knees. Halfway or all the way, tap for 8 and extend. 7. As you pull the knees, can you initiate it from the belly and not a collapse of the thighs, but rather a pull of those low abs. 4 more. You pull the knees as far as it feels good to you. That might also depend on how your feet and your toes are flexible or not. 1 more. And then lower the knees completely and push back for a little child's pose. Take a deep breath into your lower back. And then bring it back to all fours. Speaking of mobility and balance, we're going to take a little Superman with our opposite limbs, okay? So we're going to start with extending your right arm forward off the mat. Tap it down. Take the left arm, one reach. Tap it down. We're going to take the right leg back, reach it once, lower down, and then the left leg. Yeah? So we're going to do that one more time. Yeah? So you can really be clear what we're doing. Draw the belly in. The goal is to not shift as you lift one limb. Here we go. Right arm, one reach, lower down. Left arm, one reach, lower down. Everything else stays quiet. Right leg reach. Set it down. Left leg, one reach. Set it down. Okay, let's put some opposite limbs together. Extend your right arm, hold it. Extend your left leg on the floor with the toes still touching. Find your center, float the leg, hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Set everything down. Good. Other side. Left arm reach. Extend the right leg with the toes on the floor. Organize. Lift it. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it all down. Back to the first side. Now that you know where you're going, extend arm and leg out. Tap it down. Other side. Leg and arm right away. Tap it down. Reach. Set. Here again, notice what's to the side of you, what's in front of you, what's behind you, and how much are you leaning into those edges, or are you staying centered? The next time you reach, hold that pair of limbs there. Here's our challenge. Take a little baby airplane to the side of your body, or helicopter, wherever you learned this one, and back to where it came from. 5 times. Arm to T, leg to T, and circle. Range of motion based on range of support. Where do you feel connected? Take one more on this side. And bring everything center. Let's do the other one. Here we go. Left arm, right leg. Find your center and take it out to the side for 5. Feel the relationship of fingers and toes. Check in on those ribs. How's your shoulder girdle responding? I think we have one more. Center and lower down. Good job. Tuck your toes, push your hips up to the ceiling, and walk yourself all the way in to slowly roll yourself all the way up. Let's do our other leg. Yeah, here we go. So left leg up. We know we're doing sort of ish. So here we go. Hands to chest. Center your weight. 6 torso movements. Rotation, rotation. Flexion, extension. Lateral flexion, lateral flexion. So here we go. Rotate to your front leg. That's your inhale. Exhale, go deeper. Take one more inhale and center. Other side. Inhale, twist away. Exhale, go deeper. Inhale again. Center. Flex the spine, letting the arms draw you forward. And stack. And then take your extension. And stack. Take it to the side. Flex. Stack. And the other side. One more time. You can keep your hands here or hands behind the head. Rotate to the front leg. Inhale. Exhale, go further. Inhale. Center, other side. Inhale. Exhale, further create space in that front thigh. And center, chest lift forward. Take a moment here. And center. Take the focus up, extension. What's around you? Can you sense the sides of the room, even in extension? Flex to the side. Can you sense where your elbows are reaching in space? Center and other side. Right, the more I'm aware of my space, the more I can organize within it and let those arms go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so let's lunge towards that leg. Let's go for 8. Try to be in a place that allows your back calf to stretch and get a nice release as you go forward. Heel is down. Leaning forward, not trying to stay vertical, but allowing my spine to follow the line of my leg. Pushing off that front thigh. And here comes our last one. And stay center. Good. Let's find our calf stretch. Organize and lift and lower for 8. 7. Really push through the floor. 5. 6. 7. 8. All right, you ready for the calf stretch with our torso movement? Oh, yes. Okay, here we go. Lift the heel. Hands can go chest. Hands can go head. You can even let your heel be down. But here we go. Rotate to that front thigh. 1 inhale only. On your exhale, come right back to center. Lift, lift, lift. Rotate away. And center. Chest lift forward. And restack. And focus upwards. And center. Lateral flexion to the leg that's forward. Center. And away. And center. Lower down. Okay. Can you tell I'm moving just a hair faster? I want your body to have to adjust and make quick adjustments. In life, when we walk around, we don't get a lot of time to make adjustments. So I'm trying to push our pace just a little today. Here we go. So now we're going to take it forward. Lunge it, lift the heel, take it back and down. I am lunging, Press the floor away, back to center, stack it all up and lower. 5 more. Lunge it, lift, rebuild, lower, forward, heel raise, take it back, lower. What's happening in your pelvis? How's that energy in your hip, right? Is it staying active or is it kind of compressing, right? Feeling the difference between compression and engaging sometimes is a fine line. Let's reverse. Push the floor away. Pour your weight forward. Lower the heel and center. Press forward, lower. Good. Nice and intentional. Challenging our edges with this one. Lift forward. 4 more times. Feel long and tall. 3. Last 2. Last one. And center. Good. Bring your foot down. Shake it, shake it, shake it. We're going to take this to a side footwork series. It's going to really open up our inner thighs next. Before we do, join me by taking your legs wide. We're going to take a roll down and a little stretch for our hips because they just worked. So take the arms up to the ceiling. Legs wide and slowly roll down. If you want to bend your knees a little bit, be my guest. We want our hands to go to the floor and your legs to be a wide distance, but a comfortable wide distance. And from there, I'm going to ask you to bend your right knee and lunge towards it, keeping your head down, arms down. And then come back to center. Do the same like 3 more times. Lunge towards it to get a stretch on the opposite knee and inner thigh. And center. Again, lunge. Center. Lunge. Center. One more time. Lunge. Center. And then take it to the other side. So we've got 5 of these, lunging to the knee and pushing away. This action that we're doing right now is going to be very similar to what we see with our chair in a minute. So get used to this weight shift. Weight shift to the leg and press off of it. Notice as you weight shift, you're not collapsing. You're drawing the energy, you're controlling, you're coordinating that effort so no one part works too hard. Now come back to center, parallel your feet, your head is still down, your hands are still down. Bend both knees, pulling your hips downwards, and straighten both knees 4 times. Kind of like when we did our roll down, just bending the knees, oiling up the joints. 2 more. And last one, guys. All right, straighten the legs, walk, heel toe your feet in so they're back to hip distance, and slowly roll it up. All right, here we go. So now we're gonna start with one leg on the chair again, but now we're side. Okay, this is gonna be more weight shifting. This is gonna give us a really nice stretch on our inner thighs and actually some tushy work in a second. So start with your knee bent and be in a position where you feel like, right, if I said lift your heel, you're like, I can lift my heel, right? So be in a position that allows that. And then do a little hip check with me. Because based on where your chair is, your hips, your knee, all those angles are going to be organized differently. So just lift the hip side of your knee. So for me, left hip, lift it high and release it down. Just do this 5 or 6 times. It's a really nice stretch, actually, opening up some space on the standing leg, but also becoming aware of the space for this femur bone to sit in the most efficiently. Yeah. So lift it, enjoy the stretch of you leaning away from this hip bone that you're standing on. And as you lower it, allow yourself to really feel a weight into that sit bone heavy into the floor. Twice more. Good. One more time. It's a nice hip opener right here. Okay. So now we're going to lunge into this leg. Keep your bottom heel down. Just lunge and center. Do about 6 of these. Lunge. And you should feel a really nice stretch on that standing inner thigh. Center. Yeah, so my knees are open, my feet are turned out comfortably, and I'm just doing that same weight shift we did when we had our hands on the floor. Good. So now we're going to add a lateral flexion to this. So take your hands behind your head. Soft elbows, let them be slightly forward, armpits heavy, right? Something about thinking of that armpit heavy cue releases your chest a little. So I like that cue. Armpits heavy. So now we're going to lunge to the leg, flex to the leg as far as you can, lift back up, and then come center. Do that 5 more times. Lunge it, flex to it, lift the spine, straighten the leg. 4 more. Deep lunge, slight forward diagonal, pressing the hand and the heads towards each other. Lunge. Keep your head pressing back. Lift it. Good job, you guys. Twice more. Lunge first. Press. Real. Center. Next one, go over and stay over. Lunge to it, stretch to it now. Watch me before you do it. You're going to roll your spine forward all the way to the other side. What? Come center and all the way center. Try this 3 times. Lunge, side bend. Keep your legs there. Roll your spine, not your legs. In fact, think of your legs lunging more to that bent knee. Build the spine. Back to center. Good. Twice more. Lunge it. Flex it. Roll the spine. Counter stretch. So feel your elbows going the opposite way of your knee. Spine up. Leg up. Last one. Lunge it. Over. So here, be really aware. Here's that awareness that really helps me feel confident exploring this range. And center. Good job. All right, so bring your hands down to your hips. Now lunge to the leg. Bend the knee you started on. Shift your weight back and straighten. Think of this a little bit like a wave. Bend both knees. Shift and straighten. 4 more. Lunge. Bend your standing leg. Shift over it and straighten. Lunge. So really opening up both sides. Twice more. Inner thighs, hello. Now you're going to reverse it. So this leg is almost straight. I'm leaning so far to the side. Bend, travel to the leg, straighten, and come up. In some ways, don't overthink it. Just think of shifting your weight and pouring your weight through one leg to the other. Be in the middle of your chair, though. Do you see me tip my chair a little? That was my PSA. Don't tip your chair or have a heavier chair. Good. 2 more. And next time you go down, stay down on the standing leg. Okay, here we go. Parallel this foot that you're standing on. Allow the chair leg to become a turned in knee, basically parallel, but still on your chair. We're going to work this booty now. Hands behind your back or to your side. Lean forward. Start to bend this knee. Let me adjust. Bend this leg down an inch, up an inch. And let's start to organize. So as I'm pulsing my standing leg and hinging far forward, I really feel this glute, which is great. To make sure my side leg is in a good place, I'm going to make sure my side knee is not in front of my standing knee, and my foot is slightly back from there. So I want it just a little bit to the side back of me. 4 more. Think of sitting in a chair with your seat. 2. Now stay down on your 1. We're back to this forced arch. Keep your knee bent, keep your leg where it is, and push the floor away over a lifted heel and lower it. Forced arch. Lift your heel with the knee still bent and lower it 8 times. Push. Lower. My hands moved to my hips because I wanted to check in on that leveling, that nothing was lifting and cheating on me. By keeping my hips level, I feel even more work in my standing glute. 1 more time. Stay lifted if you can, lower if you need to, and pulse again. 10 this time. 9. Weight 90% on this bending knee. Not the knee really, but the leg. 5. Heel can be low, just get it up if you can. And 10, lower the heel, stand for a minute. Get a little hit. We're going down one more time. We're gonna let this leg work a little bit more. So bend the front leg, tip your chest forward. Make sure your chair knee is bent. I'm gonna move it to the edge so the knee is more in a kind of an open hook line. And then from there, I'm gonna lift the leg and tap the foot. Lift, tap. Now this is gonna be a very small lift because I'm already in a pretty high position with the leg. 10 more. Whew. 9. I'm doing my best not to lean, but a little adjustment will have to probably be made. Keep leaning forward. Think of leaning into the working leg. 2 more times. Ooh, did you see me lose it? Just for that, I'm gonna do an extra one. Boom, okay, redeemed myself. Bring that leg down. He's gonna feel very spicy. That's okay. Take a quick second. Let's do a quick stretch for that leg, just because he earned it. So sit on your chair, cross the leg over that you were standing on. Sit tall, push the knee gently away from you, and then keep the length in your spine and lean forward. Just breathe here. Good. And disclaimer, depending on the chair that you're using, if that chair seat's really high, it's going to be much more challenging than if it's a little lower. So if you decide to revisit this flow later at another point, a lower chair seat will be a little bit easier. Or you could even do the whole thing with, on a low moon box or something even lower. The idea is just to change your sense of center and balance. Okay. We got more to do, so let's get right back up. I'm gonna move my chair to this side so I can still see you, virtually see you. Okay, let's get into it. So, both legs are slightly turned out. My chair foot is just a little bit forward of my standing foot. If I had my foot completely in line with my hips, I'd have to have 180 turnout. I don't have that. Probably neither do you. If you do, email me. I'd love to chat. So right away, we're just going to lunge into it. And over. Lunge. And over. There we go. Get that nice inner thigh stretch. Foot planted firmly in the middle. 4 more. Push away. And as I'm lunging, I'm keeping my spine really vertical here. So this is a nice place to feel the orientation of your pelvis isn't changing. It's your legs, right? So just envision your skeletal structure for a minute and envision your legs. My right femur is going down and then shifting up in the socket. Can you sense that? We didn't do our hip check though, did we? So let's do that. It's gonna help you feel what I'm talking about. So come center, lift the hip side of your right knee, lower it down. All right, so right now we're doing the opposite. We're letting the pelvis move independent of the legs. So notice my legs are moving, but my pelvis is going up and down and gliding around that hip, that beautiful ball and socket joint. Such a gorgeous bone, right? That femur bone. Yeah. And as it glides down, can you let it feel really heavy? Really, really heavy. Okay, great. So now keep your leg where it is, keep your pelvis, and rise up and down by pushing into the floor. Go for 8. 7. Here again, hip check. Nothing shifting. Long spine, even here. Bring your ribs and chest into center. Let them feel part of the conversation, right? When you're working your legs, the chest is not a distant cousin. It's still deeply involved. Okay, let's take our lunge. So here we go, hands behind the head. We're going to lunge to the leg. Make sure, again, it's in the middle. Flex towards it. Oh, it feels so good. Bring the spine up first and then straighten the legs. And do that 5 more times. Lunge it. Flex towards it. I'm letting my bottom elbow go on the inside of my knee. Lift. Center. Lunge. Flex. Lift. Center. Lunge. Side. Are you breathing? 2 more. Center. Lift. And every time I have to remind myself too to bring those ribs back into the best relationship possible. Okay, here's that interesting variation. Watch me for the first one. If you're not sure, you go side. You keep your legs there. You rotate your spine through center to the other diagonal. You bring your spine up first, and now your legs come home. 3 times. Here we go. Deep flex. Deep scoop. Bring the spine over. Bring it upright. Center. Whew. There's a lot happening in this one. Deep stretch. Open the ribs. When I really open on this side, don't shy away. Keep going, keep going. You can go further. Lift the spine. And up 1 more time. So good for those ribs, you guys. Stretch all that muscle tissue around the lungs. All right, full circle. Keep going. Breathe. Center the spine and bring it up. Let the arms come down. All right, let's take it into our, I don't know what to call this, our rowing squat. Sure. So row, squat, knee. Take it over and up. Bend one, shift through the other, and just be careful as you're shifting over your standing leg that you are aware of the knee tracking properly over your foot. Over. The knees over your toes. 2 more this direction. Up. And then you're gonna reverse it. So you're gonna lean to the standing leg, bend it slightly, shift through center, and push off. Think of your spine rowing a boat up and around. Soften the left, soften the right, push up. 2 more. And 1 more full one. Come all the way in. Bend the standing leg, turn it to parallel, and turn the chair knee inwards. Do a little adjusting. I need to get a little forward, so I'm gonna scooch. My graceful scooch, there I go. And my foot's just a little bit behind. My right knee is just a little bit behind my left. Okay, I'm gonna bend both knees and really hinge forward. I'm more forward than I am up. I'm gonna bend my standing thigh back as if I'm sitting in a chair for 8, 7. I'm gonna watch the tracking of my toes and my knees. I've got a great visual here because I'm looking right at it. And I'm feeling that knee fold happening from my hips first. So lots of energy there. Okay, we're gonna add this leg to it in a second, but first, forced arch. So stay over your standing leg, push the floor away, lower the heel. The spine does not go up. It's just your heel going over the toes. So your knee rocks forward, but nothing else changes. It all stays there. And a press. Good. 6, 7. That's it. 8, 9. I did an extra one, I think, but that's okay. We can do an extra one. So now stay over that leg. Get ready to lift him. Here we go. So, oh no, I forgot one. Lift your heel. I'm so glad I remembered. This is the burner. Keep that heel up. Bend this knee, this hip back again. Ooh, how could I almost forget this one? I don't know. It's like the best part of the whole deal. Oh my gosh. That would have been awful. 5, 6. My heel is not high. It's just up enough for me to feel this beautiful work in this glute. 9. 10. I'm going to give myself an extra one just because I almost forgot it, and lower down. Okay, time to lift this leg. So I'm kind of creeping my leg in. I'm changing the angle so it's more bent. If it's really straight, that's really hard to do. So bend the knee, make it more of a hook line, shift over, do your best to stay away from this invisible wall, push against it, and lift lower. Here we go. 10, 9, 8. And I'm going to do my best not to drop that leg like I did at first one. I'm going to control the up and control the down. Control the up and the down. 8. So I'm pressing against my standing thigh and trying not to lift my hips. That's a lot of the challenge. Woo. Can we do 2 more? We can do 2 more. Lift it. And a lift. Holy moly guacamole. Bring that foot down. Let's stretch that hip briefly. So take a seat. Oh my gosh. Okay. So sit tall, open the knee, press it gently away with one hand. Keep your tail reaching back and hinge forward. Spicy. Okay. So we're going to do one more very abbreviated flow of this bigger flow series because I want to give you a nice stretch for your hip flexor. If balance is something that you're challenged by, and we all are at some point, but I would suggest be near a wall, okay? We're going to use the chair, but the wall is going to be great so you can really explore the stretch without, with confidence, right? You want to feel confident in your stretches. So I'm going to go back to facing this way. And one leg is going back. Think of this little flow similar to when we do standing lunges at the reformer by the side with our foot up on the carriage on the shoulder blocks. It's kind of where we're going with it. So I could use my wall, but I'm going to be far enough forward that I can get my leg back straight. But I also want to be able to get my toes down as an option. So imagine you're putting your leg up on the shoulder blocks on the reformer. Okay, that's the idea. From there, I'm going to have my other leg slightly bent, and I'm going to lean forward. This is really important because if I'm vertical, for some of us, that's going to put tremendous compression on your low back. No bueno. So allow your front knee to bend and tip forward, everybody. Hand on the wall, totally fine. Get your balance, get your bearings, okay? From there, you're just going to rock back and forward over those toes. Start with that and use that wall to give you a little bit of support. Yeah? Good. Now, once you find that, you can keep holding on to the wall. Keep rolling forward over the toes and back towards the heel. But now hinge forward a little more. Hold it there. Try to straighten your front leg, but stay in this hinge. Okay, that's key for this back. And bend. Just 8 times. Press and bend. This reminds me of an exercise we call teapot at the studio. Yeah, I'm a little teapot. 4 more. Where's your weight in your foot? Okay, now, after all that I said about keeping your spine down, keep it as low as you need to stay out of your back. If you're ready for a little thigh stretch, bend your back knee and bring your chest up. It's like thigh stretch at the barrel. Straighten your leg, hinge forward. Bend your back knee, and that allows your spine to pour back safely. Press it away and forward. 6 more times. My back knee goes down. My spine can follow upwards. It's an amazing stretch. And again, knee dip. Spine float. Use that wall whenever you need to. Your front glute is getting a little bit of spice in it by now. And extend. I think we have 2 more. And extend. Keep connection to your low belly. Pull it up. Hold this last one and pulse down an inch for 10, 9, 8. Keep lifting pubic bone forward. 5, 4, 3. Keep it in a range that works for you. 1. Send it forward. Release the leg. Other side. See, that wasn't so bad. Getting into it is like the hardest part. So I have curtain, but that's okay. That's okay. So here we go. Use your wall if you've got it. Leg back. And make sure you can get those toes up if that flexibility is available to you. If that's challenging, you know what you can do is take your bath towel and place it so your heel and your toes have a little more angle to play with. So maybe play with that later. Once you're up, boom, 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 front knee, bend it, hinge it, right? Even just that much, I can feel in my back how that wants to compress. So listen to your body, find where you need to be, tummy in, and rock forward and back on that back foot. Good. Again, make sure your foot's in the middle, unless your chair's really heavy and then it wouldn't matter. Forward and back. Stretching out those toes, reinvigorating the abdominal connection to your spine. Okay, now stay low, bend your front knee. Find a position where your back leg can stay pretty still and bend that front leg up and down for 10. Keep your focus over the thigh. Where's our edges? What's in front of me? What's behind me? Side of me? Beneath me? How do I respond to all of those edges? Okay, that's about 10. So we're going to keep the front leg slightly bent. Now we're going to bend the back knee to allow our chest to tip upwards. And then straighten it and tip forward. Bend the knee. Pour the spine back. Tip it and extend. Now you could do it with your toes not tucked under. See how I just changed my foot? So if your toes are really, really tight, you don't have to tuck your toes in. You can just bend the knee and pour back, but think about your bottom. Don't forget that. Okay, so you've got options. We're gonna go about 3 more times. And hinge. Remember, it's the knee going down that allows the spine to float up. Head goes forward, knee goes back. Last 2. And hinge. And 1 more. Good. Woo. And hinge. Bring that leg off. Good. Let's take 1 little stretch here, and then we're going to head to the floor. You're done with your chair. All right, stay. I think he's going to stay. Okay. So come down all the way. Extend your legs out in front of you. Sit tall. It feels good to sit after all that standing work. Make sure your little ball is near you. So let me grab him. And I'm going to bring the towel just so he doesn't roll away from me. And then we're going to take a couple roll downs, okay? So leave your ball to the side. And let's give some attention to our abdominals. Good. So inhale here. Wrap the seat, roll down. All the way to the bottom. Let's reach the arms back. Now here for a minute, just release your body like a limp rag doll. Just even your jaw, your face, just drop everything out. Go to 0. Take a deep breath in, let it reinvigorate you, and roll up. Rounding over the legs, and then rebuilds down, stack tall. We're gonna do this 3 times more. So you're gonna roll down, and I'm gonna ask you to let go completely, 100%. Reinvigorate, roll back up. Okay, here we go. Exhale, curl it back. Get to the bottom and release. It's like somebody just turned the lights out. Take a moment, turn them back on as you inhale, and roll back up. Pour over, restack, go right back down, all the way to the bottom, meet the mat, and lights out. Inhale, reinvigorate, and roll up. It's a nice practice in how quickly we can release and engage, right? So rolling down, here I go, and I turn everything off. Inhale, on. Head, toe, fingertips, ribs, belly, glutes, everything wakens up, and I roll. Rolling right back up one more time. This is just great practice on how do we wake up, let go, lights out, lights on, and roll all the way up. Okay. Let's do a little bit more work for that belly. Come down to your elbows. Turn your legs out. I'm on my elbows, but I'm not resting. No. See, that's me resting. My shoulders are pressing away. My abdominals are in. I'm light. I can lift my arms at any time, right? I'm light. Stay there. Lift one leg up. Speaking of light, and lower it down 8 times. Lift and lower. Try to bring this in from your abdominals, right? And lift. 4 more on this side. 3, 2, other leg right away. Here we go. Lift 8. 7, 6. Now, I didn't talk about this bottom leg, but as we're lifting the top, let's not forget the bottom leg. Glute wrapping, heel pressing, because we're going to go to the first side and go into circles. So flex your bottom heel, flex, press your bottom heel down, lift your top leg, circle it out for 6, 5. Try to feel that flow down and up, almost like you're catching a wave of energy. Down and around, down and reverse, down and arrive, down and arrive. Can you find that quality of movement? Single leg circles in a classic Pilates have a bit of a percussive nature to them. They're not just the same tempo all the time. Lower the leg, other side, right away we go up and out and around, and down and around. Hamstring active on the supporting leg. 5 and around, reverse, down and up, and down and up, down and around, 2 more, down and around, and down and around. Leg down, roll all the way down, hug your knees to your chest, rock side to side. All right. So I know we've gone over an hour, so if you have to leave me, I understand. We're going to do a quick series of abdominals because I just want to feel a little toasty. We worked our booty, we worked our balance. Let's work the belly. And then I'll give us a little glute and sacrum release with the ball if you want to stay around for that. Okay? So a little belly work, a little release work. Hang in as long as you'd like to. It's Sunday, you know. I have nowhere else to go right now. I'm still in quarantine. So I'm just going to paint after this. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint my bathroom. Okay, so curl up your head and chest. Pull yourself in. Relax your neck. It's long. Take a moment. Check in with your edges. Where are you? And let's take our 100. But we're going to do it in 4s today. Here we go. Inhale for 1. And out. In for 4, out for 4, in for 4, out for 4. Flex your feet, in for 4, out for 4, 4, and out. In for 4, turn out your feet, inhale for 4 pumps, out for 4, in for 4, out for 4, in for 4. Out for 4. Point your feet. Last sets. In for 4. Out for 4. In for 4. Out for 4. And in. And out. One more time. In for 4. And out. Legs up to 90, hands behind your head. Lower your legs. Okay, two options. Lower for 4 counts and lift for 4 counts, or lower, curl up, knees to elbows, extend, and up. Okay, before we just get going, I'm gonna let my head go down to relax. So you're either gonna lower 4 up for 4 8 times, or you're gonna do that other option. Lower for 4, pull everything up, extend everything out, and up. 8 times. Here we go. Inhale, listen to your body, do what challenges you. Inhale, pull, wrap the seat, lift. Inhale, regardless of which version you're doing, you are pressing your head and hands to meet in the middle. Wrap the seat, no arching in that lower back. Extend, lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, pull. I think we have 4 more. Now, take a break. If you're like, I've done enough, Christine, take a break because we've got some more to do this morning. So there's more coming up. And lift. 1 more. And extend. Good. Legs up, hug your knees into your chest. Next up is we're going to do some crisscrosses. Your legs are at 90, they're turned out. You're going to crisscross your legs. And if that feels great, awesome. If you want to go for the extra challenge, you're going to lower your legs with me as you cross and lift them up every 4 counts. So here we go. Down for 4. And up. And down. And up. Good. Down. And up. And down. And up. We've got 4 more sets. Take a break or keep going with me. And up. And 2. And up. Breathing. And lift. 1 more. And up. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Let your head go. Whew. We've got 2 more main sets to go. Double knee stretch and single knee stretch, or variation thereof. Curl up to a high chest lift. Wrap your shins with your hands. Take a deep breath. Now, a little different. I'm going to ask you to Barbie doll your feet so your toes are pointed and stilettos, heels are still pulled back. Put your hands on your glutes. Engage from there and press your legs out. Pull them in. Feel your seat. Wrap for 8. I want you to feel this working, guys. Press. Pull. Feel those glutes turning on. You're pushing through something, not collapsing. Wrap. 2 more times. Last one. Right from there, bring your legs in. Single knee stretch right away. Go for 10 and switch. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, go right into scissors, then we're done. 10, 9, 8, stay in it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Knees in, rock and roll to a seated position. Grab your shins, rolling like a ball 5 times. Roll back and up. Good. Just massage your spine. Last one. When you come up, sit up, find your ball, and let's do a little release, okay? So come all the way down. Disclaimer, you stay down, I'll come up. Lumbar spine, that curve of your back. Do not put the ball anywhere on the fleshy part of the curve of your back. No, no, no. So wherever your waistband is, think of like a regular pair of jeans right above the pocket of your jeans. That's going to be for our sacrum release. And then right at the fleshy part where the pocket of my jeans would be, that's for your glutes, okay? Also, don't place it in the middle of your back. So not on the bone, on the flesh, below the curve of your back, and yonder is the safe space to play. So that being said, I'm going to take my ball. I'm going to put my hand under right above my glute, and that's where I'm going to go in a minute. But first, I'm going to start more on the glute itself. So find the fleshy part of your glute, the high fleshy part, and set the ball there. Now you have a couple options. You can let your other free hip hover so that you can get more pressure into the ball, or you can let your hip stay down and just be kind of propped up by the ball. That's going to be the least intense. Lifting the opposite hip will give you more pressure and more release. So listen to what your body is receptive to. Find a place that is receptive and then just start to sway side to side like a pelvic hammock. Just imagine the hammock of your one-sided pelvis towards the tailbone and away towards the lateral edges. And feel free to play with where the placement of your ball is. And when you find a place that is interesting, stay there and take a breath or two. So find some places that speak to you. Right? And just think about breathing easily and try to release tension into the ball. And notice if your glute is kind of bracing in anticipation. See if you can, give your glute a margarita. Just can you relax it a little and be like, it's okay, buddy. This is good. We're at a good place. So just think kind of lazy booty on that side. No muscle here. We're trying to let go. And find a place again that's interesting to you. Once you've found it, and again, we could do this for a very long time. We're just doing an abbreviated version, really just to spark your own curiosity so that maybe you visit this later. Find a place that feels good and just do like a baby circle, like really small. And see how that feels. I've done this a few times this week, so I have to find a new spot to release because my normal spots are a little tender now. So do it in about 8 and then reverse it, go the other way. Small circles, like the size of a golf ball. Check in, are your shoulders relaxed? Yeah. And then take one more breath wherever you're at. Just like when we had our foot on the ball, can you allow your booty to kind of melt and liquefy around it? And then let it go. Set your glutes down, take a minute, and just take 2 pelvic curls with me and just check in with what's been happening in that side. So press the floor away, curl the hips up, and curl down. One more time. And notice how it feels in the glute, but also notice how it feels in the front. Do you feel any difference in the openness on one hip versus the other? Okay. Let's try the other side. So same idea, not on the low back, not on the tailbone, not on the bones, on the fleshy part of your high glute. Find a place that's receptive, and then either let the free hip stay heavy and just breathe, or let it stay up and sway. And especially those lateral edges. Don't shy away from the edges. That's where your glutes, glute med and minimus, all those great side glutes that we were working today. And TFL is more in the front, but don't be afraid of the side hip. Get up in there. Good. Find some spicy spots. Take a couple of breaths. Yeah. Be patient with it. It takes a minute. Right? Like just notice if your glute can keep releasing, right? Don't just scan it and leave it. Scan it and rescan and rescan. Find a place that's interesting. Start to do little baby circles, tiny circles. All right, so just finding different ways to explore that space. Reverse the circle. And if your body would rather just stay and breathe into one spot, that's fine too. These are just suggestions of ways to explore and open up possibility in your tissue. Take one more breath. Settle in for a second longer. And then remove it. Okay. Let's do a pelvic curl. Let's do 2 of them. Let's check in. Notice any differences. Curl, press up. And roll down. One more time. Press into the feet, curl up. And roll down. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the first side for that sacrum area. Now, the sacrum is that triangular shaped 3 to 5 fused bones, right? We're not actually on the sacrum. We're going on the tissue to the side of the sacrum because that can pull and throw your pelvis out of alignment. So again, go back where you were on the fleshy part of your booty and then go up to where your hands would be if you were just above the pocket of your pants, of your jeans. That's where you want to aim. So kind of right above the fleshy part of the glute, but not on the lumbar curve. I should have like bold red letters across the screen. No lumbar curve. Okay, don't get there. Stay to the sides of your sacrum and maybe roll towards it a bit. And that's where we're just going to kind of take that runway out around all that beautiful fascial tissue. And again, if this is really intense on your tissue, you could wear a sweatshirt. You could wrap the ball, find a different ball. And then just explore that area side to side. Maybe just find a place and melt there. Maybe start to explore the circles we did. We're just going to stay here about 1 more minute longer. And a lot of us have had our normal routines very, very much changed these last 2 months. So we're probably sitting more, a lot of us, than we normally do, or just in different routines. And so sometimes the body is trying to adjust, and that doesn't always bode well as it's figuring things out. So sometimes this is really important. So just take some time, recognize that you might have some tightness, and give yourself some time to release it. It does take time. So find one more spot that's interesting to you and just take a deep breath there. And then let it go. And again, we really could spend a very long time on this, but I'm just trying to get you curious, and hopefully you do this later, okay? Okay, other side. Find the side. Maybe today you just road map your tight spots and then revisit them maybe later today or at another time. Sometimes we don't even notice how tight we are till we get up in there. So again, you're on the runway to the side of your sacrum, not on anything fleshy in that lumbar spine, and not forcing it, right? For some of us, it might be enough just to have your one hip down flat and then just to prop up your sacrum or side of sacrum and just kind of lean into it. That might be perfect for you today. Nobody can tell you how quickly your body should respond to these things. That's your body, so you probably should listen to it. I should probably listen to mine too. Which is like, why don't I always do this? I should do this so much more. Good, so find those spots. Take one more spot. Stay there for a second. Just take a few deep breaths into it. Notice how as you breathe out, how things just start melting that aren't even directly around that ball tissue. And then let it go. Set your ball to the side. Hug your knees to your chest. Take your knees in. Just stir your knees in and away from each other a few times. That ball release work can be very intense, so it's good just to give your body a second to regroup and find center without it. And then extend one leg, just hug one knee in, give it a little tug. Take a deep breath. And switch, hug the other knee, extend the other leg long. Appreciate your body. Grab the other leg. Start to rock and roll yourself up till you're in a seated position. And then turn around, tuck your toes, and down dog we go. Hips up, heels heavy, palms flat, head down, neck long. Soft elbows, soft knees, draw your ribs in, reach your tailbone now up and straighten the legs. Take your feet for a little walk, just lift and lower the heels, reinvigorating the energy of the thigh and the shin and the foot. And then walk those feet into your hands or hands to feet. Relax your head. Even here in this down position, just check in what's around you, to the side of you, behind you, above you. Deep inhale, and then as we exhale, let's slowly roll and restack the spine as we straighten. Let the arms come up from the sides of your body up to the ceiling. And take one big push and flex the palms away. And stand tall. All right, you guys. Good job. Well done. Round of applause. That concludes our Mobility Balance Family Mat. Have a great day, and I will see, hopefully, all of you next time.